got a little thing here to read. Take hopefully just 3 minutes. But bear with me if it doesn't, it's just seconds longer. It says, with the beginning of the year, I feel that Yuma Airport Board of Directors has a chance to make some needed changes. First and foremost, our airport finances need to be questioned. There's a potential legal obligations with Garza Aviation, some that a lot may not know about, Chevron Texaco, and Luxair long-term expenditures, additional expenditures in the new FBO for the Antonov, $2 million that you guys have already financed on. Also, we have an apparent never-ending off-budget account currently to be used to pay IRS obligations for an error in the YCAA tax attorney and the CFO. I would like also to address today the request of the board to allow a second call to the public after the meeting prior to the adjournment for an open comment per that month's agenda. No reason why we can't have a second one, not at all. Okay, while the current and previously stated war chest of $100,000 was to be used against Garza Aviation only, we wonder what is the current status of the war chest. How much more will be required to litigate the suits and or suits that may derive from this action, i.e. the perceived conflict of interest in negotiations with Mr. Freeman, millionaire, Yuma Airport County Board manager, lack of arm's length bargaining. Also, we have a $6 million suit against YCAA from Luxair stemming from the alleged suit, and then stemming another suit stemming from the alleged sale of Chevron Texaco assets, possibly becoming a litigation, or another expenditure of $350,000. Where is the legal war chest for that? It is apparent as to why the YCAA took on a $2 million long-term obligation for an FBO to be built for the Antonov in the AIC complex, or DCC as it's been referred to. Based upon the November meeting, the YCAA manager stated that this indeed was to be an FBO, yet current millionaire lease requires millionaire to build an FBO. Does Yuma really need 3 gas stations calling themselves FBOs? Lastly, I would like to question this off-budget account. YCAA could not pay for fencing around the perimeter, which would benefit all general aviation, yet $53,000 was found to cover an error by the YCAA tax attorney and the CFO. $200,000 was found for improvements around the north end hangars. More was found for additional security measures for the high-level hangar attendants and T-shades. In December, $100,000 was earmarked for use to access points near JMAR building was found. When was the last internal audit done for the YCAA? It appears possibly that a new audit would be advisable, performed by a forensic accountant. Thank you.
Any other calls? Any other questions?
Go ahead.
My name is Thomas Trotter. Tom and my friends, Mr. Craig in the October meeting said I should address him personally instead of going to the board with anything. So you guys, I'll address him personally, and so if you kind of listen in, I sure appreciate it. There was a POV access that was sent out to all, supposedly sent out to all holders of POV access. I was not included on that list. I happen to be one of them for whatever reason, I don't know. However, it was forwarded to me where POV access, and I'm sure that you've all read it, is to reassure you that the airport's access control procedures will not change on December 1st, 2011. As you know, we are working with our counterparts on MCAS, Yuma, to coordinate our policies and procedures with theirs. We are making progress, but we have not yet concluded our work. Until that happens, all those rules and regulations, our minimum standards, will remain in effect. In other words, nothing changes on December 1st, 2011. If your work with MCAS, if our work with MCAS Yuma does not conclude that we need to make changes, we will be sure to let everyone know well in advance, and will provide mail-outs, brochures, and online briefings covering any new aspect of how we manage access to the flight line. Please feel free to call if you have any questions. Sincerely, Gladys Wiggins, Deputy Airport Director. Airport Authority action. this is my statement, airport authority action is bias and self-serving baloney. Allow handicap access even though not a tenant. Big signs out there, if you're a tenant of this airport authority, the hangars, the T-shades, whatever, you have access for it. For those of us over on the millionaire side, we don't have access through the gate. You allow handicap access through that gate, even though they are not a tenant. He parked right next to me, just happened to throw one of the beacons through the cowl of my airplane there Saturday, and he's in a wheelchair. That's reverse discrimination, guys. You can't do that. Because I have good legs and I can walk, that's discrimination. Allow private vehicles of the FDO on Millionaire. He parks on that, turns around and parks right on the ramp. We couldn't even do that before. Have supplied all the required documents, and I'm approved. I have the same decal, I have the same card, I have the same access, the whole works. It's not a private ramp, it's an FAA ramp. Thus would request under Open Records Act, immediate law, which you are acting under, and records of any report or any meeting that you had or conversation that has taken place concerning this POV. These should be dated and timed if possible, and names of those who were present, discussion, and action to be taken. The Supreme Court of Arizona, the other day, come out with a ruling, you have to give it to us. I would like it, I'm requesting it. Here's my address.
You're over your 3 minutes.
Okay, very fine.
Anybody else?
I have a comment. My name is Mitch Dunn. I think you're all familiar with me. I've been here a couple times before. Just a few comments today. I promise to be brief here. I want to start off by commending the airport staff. There was an issue recently, a concern with the fuel. My airplane and Albert's airplane both acted up on the same night, and it was very fuel related. The airport staff and James from Millionaire reacted pretty promptly and checked on the fuel, did a real good job of that, and it ended up that our problems with our airplanes were not the gas. So I do appreciate the prompt taking care of that by airport staff. Second comment is about the POV access, and as we've heard before, there's not many bright spots there. There's still some of us that are having to ride on the back of the bus and can't drive to our planes, whereas people just across the little yellow line can still drive their planes. And I don't really see why this POV issue is supposed to be about security. I really don't see how that has anything to do with security, whether or not we pay to rent a hangar or don't pay to rent a hangar from the airport authority. But I did see one good thing out of that POV debacle. I was reading through there, and I noticed there was mention of the POV access was reevaluated, that it would encompass a total reevaluation of all the security here on the airport. I think that's a very good thing. Part of that reevaluation, there was a mention of doing criminal background checks on airport tenants and people with good POV access. I think it might be a good idea to raise the bar a little bit and do background checks on more than just people who drive into airplanes, maybe on FBO owners, people with long-term contracts at the airport. Let's do criminal investigations, background investigations on all people who have a real strong connection with the airport or they're on and off the airport. I think the record's pretty clear. In addition to, here's my time.